Hello and welcome back to the channel, as well as another episode of Astral Ascension. This is literally, I'm just gonna put this out here. This is the third time, or should I say the third take I've been recording this, because apparently my drive has not enough space to fit all the recording. Apparently my recording is just that big of a file. So what I did was, during the second take, I deleted pretty much, well, usually what I did is I just delete the previous recording once I uploaded it. So yeah, during the first take I forgot to do that, so I deleted it and did a second take. But apparently this episode will be really long. I'm just, yeah. And then it basically stopped recording when the drive is full. So right now, the third take, I put the recording output in another drive, which has considerably more space than the one I used to store my previous recordings. So yeah, hopefully I can manage to record an entire episode. Yeah, today's episode will be really long. I basically already gone through at least an hour and a half before the episode crashed. But I'm contemplating whether if I want to make this take a full long one, or I should split it. Because yeah, because normally I did my episodes based on the, yeah, as you can see here, we already went this far along. Well, basically spoiler right here. So yeah, based on the save file thumbnail, it's already a huge spoiler. So I'm contemplating whether I should split the episode in to prevent a similar scenario from happening. This is a third take, so I hope that we can record everything. But if not, if my system just crash again, I'm just gonna split this into two parts. Because normally when I did my episodes, I do my episodes like based on their in-game days. So whenever day ends, I just end the episode. So this is where we left off. Okay, this is a third take, so I kind of know what's gonna happen in the upcoming at least an hour of the scenes. So some of the choices I will choose like the better options based on the previous two takes. So yeah. So I think, yeah, they still have, wait. Yeah, they haven't fixed this part, because whenever you save, they don't show this last sentence. So I'm just gonna read it again regardless. A light beeping wakes me up from my slumber. I roll over to check my phone. It's a reminder that I need to take over flying in 15 minutes. With a yawn, I get out of bed and get ready. Afterwards, I head to the cockpit.
Morning, or afternoon, or is it evening? You really lose track of time when everything is just a bleak void of nothingness in this vast cosmos.
Yeah, considerably everything is dark. Yeah, you will lose track of time, especially if you live in basically a room with all the curtains closed. So yeah, you can't really tell the time. Yeah, if your curtains is especially if your curtains is really thick, and you can't see, you can't tell whether it's day or night outside. Looks like I arrived at a good time, and I still can't read. I can't speak whatever I'm reading.
I wouldn't say no to a nice warm bed right now.
Once I take my seat, Kai transfers the controls to me, and then gets to work on the navigation system.
Let me just plot out the rest of the course so you can let the autopilot do its thing.
Kai fills me in while I review the map board. While I was on break, Iris asked Kai to plot a faster route so we could reach the destination more quickly. He decided to take a more direct course, which has us leaving both Union and Polaris space. And this is never a good thing, because we'll end up in trouble, which, spoiler alert, we will! Usually that's more dangerous, but we've plotted our route around uninhabited planets and we'll keep our signature invisible. Not sure what this means though. During the non-warping legs of our journey. I'm not sure if this term is intended or maybe it's a mistake, but I'm pretty sure it's intended. I'm not entirely sure what this entirely means. Maybe it's just being camouflage or something. Our next warp lands us right next to the uninhabited desert planet of Aksari. This seems like a good planet to use to mask our presence while we wait for our warp drive to recover. Yeah. Our radar beeps. It seems like a few other ships had the same idea. How many have we got?
About 24. They're mainly transport vessels with a couple of escort ships. They aren't scanning us. In fact...
He pauses, peering into the console.
It looks like they're depowered.
I tense up. How is that possible? Suddenly, Kai sits up straight.
Uh-oh, not good.
Yeah, not good indeed. Especially if they say things like... if they say things like leaving both the safe space of two superpowers. Yeah, and then we basically jinx ourselves, but yeah, I already seen it at least twice, so I know what's gonna happen for like the next hour or so of the episode. He brings up an image of relay repeaters. I recognize them as a planetary defensive measure that can EMP ships from a distance. There are about 5 or 6 set in the radius around the planet. Why would an occupied planet have relay repeaters?
No idea, but the repeater's main source is originating from the planet itself.
So the planet does have inhabitants?
They must, and they've been intentionally hiding their location because this is definitely a planned scheme.
Our ship rumbles, nearly jolting me from my seat. A moment later, all of our electronics beep and spin wildly. Right, those relay repeaters were set as a trap. We have to get out of here before we're caught in the planet's gravitational pull.
I'm rebooting our systems now.
With no energy, we're slowly pulled into the planet's gravity. Those other transport and escort vessels suffer a similar fate. How much longer?
15 seconds.
Iris hurries into the cockpit. Her eyes are wide as she surveys the bridge.
What's going on?
Kai brings her up to speed while I focus on what to do next. Power's back on, but we're still pulled into the orbit.
Can we use that as a slingshot and thrust her out?
Yes, but if those relay repeaters activate, we'll be knocked out again and we'll have wasted the energy.
Our warp drive is also tapped, so we can't use that right now. Iris falls quiet while she thinks.
We can activate shields and lean into the descent. That should keep our ship mostly protected.
Is it a good idea to allow them to pull us in? We don't know what we'll find down there.
No, but I don't think we have a choice. Right now, we can't escape. None of us can.
She motions to the other ships. Kai looks at me.
You're the one controlling the ship. What do you think makes the most sense?
Yeah, both of these options. Yeah, I had 2 takes, so I had the chance to explore these 2 options, and basically it's the same. You get pulled down into the planet regardless. So I'm gonna choose the safer option because I think this is a worse option to be on, in my opinion. So yeah, we have to go down anyway, so I'm gonna choose this one. Those relay repeaters are like quicksand. The more we struggle to leave, the worse off we'll be. We should maximize. I can't speak. We should maximize our shield so Eidos suffers the least amount of damage. From there, we'll be in a better spot to plan our escape. Kai concedes to the idea and Iris nods.
Divert all energy to the shields.
On it. I reconfigure our energy outputs and maximize everything for our shields. Then I orient the ship towards the planet. Prepare for atmospheric entry. Eidos dives in and I try my best to control the flight. With most of our computations knocked out and all of our energy rerouted to shields, I take over manual control and channel my full concentration into flying. Luckily, our shields are holding up. As much as we try to lean into the descent, it's still a rocky dive. I try my best to keep the bumping and rumbling to a minimum, but the ship continues to jerk and pull. Eventually, our ship breaks atmosphere. There's a moment of brief quiet while we peer at our surroundings. Kai was right. This is a desert. There's sand as far as the eye can see. Oh, so in other words, Tatooine from Star Wars, right?
Basic scans indicate this planet is baseline gravity and breathable. I wouldn't completely trust the data though, since it also said this planet was uninhabited.
Iris nods, then turns to me.
What's the ship's status?
We're approaching a desert storm, so visibility will be very difficult. I've slowed down our descent, but it'll almost be impossible to land.
Should we keep shields up and brace for impact?
I don't know about crashing into the literal unknown. What if we try to regain control of the flight instead?
Iris glances at me.
What do you think is best for the ship?
I'm not sure about this because let's make a different because these two are basically the same, but they have like different outcomes with the dialogue choices, but it doesn't affect too far into the storyline, so it affects the dialogue at the moment. So the first take I actually chose this, the option to go into the planet, right down there. I don't know where can I see it. Yeah, the first take I chose this, the second option with this second option. So I'm trying to do another a different combo this time. Yeah, in other words, I'm gonna pick the first option. This is the one I chose during the second take. So yeah, maybe they will have like different combinations of dialogue depending on what you choose. Yeah, sometimes doing multiple takes can really, you can know what's gonna happen preemptively. So yeah, it's basically a spoiler for me, and I kinda can make the best decision when something goes wrong with the recording. We don't know where we are or what we'll crash into. We should use the shields to absorb the impact, which we can then deal with later. Any hull damage we take will be much more serious.
No arguments there.
Iris nods. She turns on the ship-wide comms.
Everyone, brace for impact.
Yeah, I hope Vela and Luna are okay. I hope I hope wherever they are have like seat belts on. I control the descent as best as I can without any active main thrusters. I have no visibility with the swirling desert storm, so I track our shield percentage, which is steadily declining. We must be taking hits from rocks and other flying debris. Eidos' altitude continues to drop until the ship finally crashes to a stop with a groaning shudder. My ears are ringing and my body is sore, but otherwise I'm unharmed. The ship's console continually flashes with warnings. Our shield integrity is in critical condition, but somehow we made it out alive. Once the fog in my brain clears, I check on Iris and Kai. Both seem dazed, but otherwise fine. Yeah, that option apparently doesn't matter, I think. Iris pulls out her phone. I also have to check on Bela and Luna. Meanwhile, Kai and I power down the ship to conserve what's left of our energy. A few moments later, the rest of our crewmates join us on the bridge. Thankfully, everyone is unharmed. Luna heads straight to Iris' side and checks her over. Bela's brows furrow in worry.
Are you guys okay?
Yep, nothing a healthy dose of alcohol won't cure.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Luna finishes checking Iris.
All good.
Thanks, Luna.
She then comes over to me and Kai while Iris turns to Vela.
I'm glad everyone is alright, but we need to do a full ship diagnostic as soon as possible.
Already on it. I had Beep Boop launch the diagnostics before I came up. Needless to say, communications are out and we are on emergency power for now.
Can you disable the automated SOS signal?
It got a little damaged, but I was going to work on that first.
Don't.
Vela looks confused.
Why not?
Exari is supposed to be uninhabited, but they had EMP relay repeaters waiting to trap passing ships. Considering we weren't the only ships targeted, I think the relays were meant to capture any and all ships, probably to steal cargo or possibly more.
My stomach turns. I've heard similar reports in IAP, but there were very few and so far removed from our usual cases that I almost forgot about them. It's still a little unbelievable that people do this in the outer regions and get away with it.
The last thing we want is a big beacon indicating where we are.
He's right. That Seirdros background is coming in quite handy at the moment.
Kai rubs his chin.
I figured it would at some point. Either way, we need to be extra cautious while we're here.
So, what should we do next?
The desert storm will give us some natural cover while we run full diagnostics. From there, we can figure out what we need to fix in order to get out of here. Luna, please do an inventory of medical supplies and see what we're working with. That crash was hard, and I'm sure our supplies have been affected.
Of course.
Finally, Iris turns to me and Kai.
You two, keep your attention on the radar. We want to make sure we don't get any visitors. If we're discovered, we'll need to make a quick getaway with whatever is still working.
You got it.
Understood.
Now that everyone has their assignments, let's get to work.
The group nods. Iris, Vela, and Luna all exit the bridge, leaving just Kai and me remaining.
Woo! Good work, Hotshot. I have no idea how you kept us alive, but you somehow pulled it off.
Thanks. Although we couldn't have done it if you hadn't identified the relay repeater so quickly. He grins.
I suppose I'll take credit for that.
Iris did say your time in Seirdros helped us out. Did you see similar things there? He laughs.
Why does this feel like an interrogation, Mr. IAP agent?
Nah, we're not IAP right now. We're not an agent anymore. I don't see any IAP agent here. Just two mercenaries having a friendly chat. He looks at me with newfound recognition. Slowly he nods.
Truer words have never been spoken. Seirdros had its own set of underhanded tactics. Nothing as sophisticated as repeater relays taking down full ships, but it was common to see them used for stealing cars and supply trucks.
I'm glad all Polaris vehicles had strong countermeasures against EMP attacks.
Ha! True, you saw it from the other end. Well, I suppose we both have given where we are now. Still, I never thought I'd be flying side by side with a former IAP agent.
I grin. How about side by side with a friend?
I can do that.
We both grin. Once we're out of this mess, I'm sure we'll look back fondly at this adventure.
I'll drink to that.
A system check update flashes across our screen. We'll click to review one of the diagnostic results. So yeah, whenever they give like backstory of a certain character, they place us in a similar situation where it's similar to where they're from. In this case, we are in a where the planet we're in is basically gonna have like some elements similar to where he's from. So I guess the developers can like let's just guess that the developers won't have to come up with a reason to go back to his home world. So yeah, I think from a narrative standpoint, it doesn't make, like, it's kind of a stretch to somehow come up with a reason to go to his homeworld for, I don't know, maybe a mission, but that's kind of so cliche. Like going, in my opinion, like if you're gonna drop a, like say if you're curious about his homeworld, right? I think placing us in a situation similar to where he's from is kind of a better option. It kind of deviates us from the cliche point of like finding like coming up with a reason to go to his homeworld, you know. So yeah, basically with my spoiler, basically long story. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but basically what the planet we're on is basically bad news. So yeah, so they just emulate or just simulate us being in a place similar to his home world. Have I finished reading? I forgot whether if I did read this. The ship diagnostics come in at a steady pace. Surprisingly, the ship isn't as badly damaged as we thought. I'm sure it's thanks to all of the post-armor modifications. We continue to review each diagnostics result as it completes until all results are in. All of these repairs will need parts replaced, which we can't get. Well, while the storm traps us inside. For now, all we can do is wait for it to pass. I hope we have enough food or water to survive for like a couple of days. The storm rages for a couple of days before it finally subsides. I tried to update Celeste on our situation, but an external connection is still impossible to reach. I'll fill her in as soon as our lines are re-established. Once the sky's clear, everyone gathers on the bridge to regroup and discuss our next steps. We have a good idea on what basic fixes we need to do so we can be in the air again. Iris turns to Kai.
How does our navigation system look?
It's able to scan planetside, but unable to connect to any signals outside of this planet.
Not ideal, but not the worst case scenario. Luna, Vela, what's the status on your end?
There's some breakage of medical equipment in the med bay.
Luna smiles.
But it's nothing a small shopping trip won't fix.
Actually, I think it'll have to be a big shopping trip. The ship can fly, but the warp drive is completely shot. We have to fix it if we want to escape. Otherwise, the EMP will take us down again on the flight out.
Then we'll have to locate the nearest town.
On that note, I've got good news and bad news.
What is it?
The good news is the scanner detected a city nearby.
And what's the bad news?
The bad news is I saw the city during our descent, and it doesn't look like the, safest place in the galaxy.
It'll have to do.
I can finish the rest of the repairs that don't need parts, and update the system calibrations to speed things up.
Iris nods.
Good. While you do that, the rest of us will go to the city and track down the necessary parts.
Once agreed, we prepared the buggy in Eidos' vehicle bay that fits the four of us. Soon enough, we're bouncing along the sand dunes towards the city. When we get there, I see why Kai said the place would be bad news. Even calling it a city is a stretch. The buildings are few and dilapidated, and the people look less than friendly. It's hot, it's dry, and it smells like acrid smoke. I hope we can get out of here fast. Yeah, the design is basically what you see on Star Wars. They basically look like Tatooine, with some elements of like desert houses you see in real, with some references from like architectural designs in like desert cities or towns, like in Egypt, I suppose, but I'm not sure because I never actually looked up on what an Egypt town looks like. Yeah, it probably is. They probably took some elements of or inspiration from the desert cities in real life, and when they make drew this, or in other words, when they took inspiration from Star Wars. I'm not sure. Yeah, this door definitely looks like it's from Star Wars, but it could be just a generic how do I put it, generic design. But I associate this kind of design with like futuristic style desert cities, I suppose, like Tatooine, for example. Have I read this yet? I'm not entirely sure. Iris frowns as she examines our surroundings.
It looks like finding a real shop might be hard.
Luna tries for a smile.
Yes. This doesn't seem like the sort of place to have a mall.
There's quite a bit on this list, so let's cover more ground by splitting up. Kai and I will use the buggy to track down the larger parts.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Iris nods to me and Luna.
You two, search for these items specifically, as they may be a bit harder to find.
She highlights the specific components to us, so we're paired up with Luna. So yeah, I'm guessing whoever has the highest affection will be paired up with whoever. Let me rephrase. I think we will definitely be paired up with whoever we have the highest affection with. In this run, Luna. So in the next 2 runs, I'm guessing we'll pair up with Vela if we have the highest affection with her, and then maybe I'm just guessing if we paired up with Vela, Luna might stay on the ship. I'm just guessing, but we'll find out in the next one. But in the case where we pair up with Iris, I'm not sure who's gonna pair up with Kai now. I think by default, Vela will stay on the ship unless you have a highest affection with her. So yeah, this scenario is basically pairing up with whoever you have the highest affection with.
Sounds good.
Okay. Afterwards, we head off in our respective directions. Yeah, this is where we pair up with whoever has the highest affection with. And I said this like multiple times. The more of this place I see, the more uneasy I feel. It's obviously poor, and I realize the people aren't just unfriendly. They're completely downtrodden. Like something here is crushing them. I try to ignore the feeling and interact with them as best as I can. Luna and I wander around for a while, checking out the few shops we find. One is a used goods store selling old, half-broken odds and ends. Another's a pawn shop with the shadiest looking proprietor I've ever seen. The third has weapons with illegal modifications, making me flashback to my IAP days when I'd shut down places like this. Nowhere has what we need. Throughout our search, Luna acts weird. She keeps looking around at the buildings and signposts, sounding like there's a bad taste in her mouth. Is something wrong? She furrows her brow, then leads me towards a more secluded area. She points to a poster on a nearby wall.
There seems to be a lot of these on this planet. Bulletin boards, ads, flyers.
I scrutinize the poster. It shows an image of a man in fancy clothes. Oh, yeah, in the last take, I thought this... Okay, let me finish this sentence. It shows an image of a man in fancy clothes with the words Xenoc protects you underneath. So if this place is based on Tatooine or in fact, I'm not sure, I forgot where the episode 6 of Star Wars is located. Not entirely sure where. Apparently, I think Jabba the Hutt is from Tatooine. Come to think of it. Unless I'm wrong. Do I want to look it up? I'm guessing. Oh, I think it is. Yeah, either. So basically, what I mentioned in the last take was, I'm guessing this guy will have will look like either of the two possibilities. One, he will look like a human version of Jabba the Hutt, or two, well, if he has a side character art over here, so yeah, he'll either look like a human version of Jabba the Hutt, or two, he'll look like Dorn Corneo from Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, if he does have a art here, but not so further down the story. We'll have he's like one of his, should I say, right hand or lieutenant have their own side character arc. So I'm pretty sure he will have one. So yeah, he'll either look like a human version of Jabba the Hutt or Don Corneo. Either one. Yeah, it says man, so I'm just gonna. So I'm not. So I don't think he'll be like a alien species, right? So I'm guessing everyone in this, wherever you're from, is basically humans. Are basically humans, right? This is even shadier than that pawn shop owner. I doubt this Xenos guy actually protects anyone. If he did, his people would know that without him without him having to tell them. And they wouldn't look so miserable. Oh, that guy is definitely not sus at all, right? Wow, this Xenos guy must be an upstanding citizen, protecting I can't speak again. Protecting all these people. No wonder they seem so happy. Luna laughs a little.
Yes, they're positively overjoyed.
Yeah, missing line. Or stop me if this is too crazy. He could be a liar. He could be a liar.
A liar with a very good propaganda campaign. Something sketchy about this town, beyond its obvious poverty. We should stay cautious.
Okay. We head back into the main area of town and continue our search. After about 10 minutes, we get lucky and find a promising shop. Inside, we approach the merchant.
Hello. Do you have any ship parts for sale?
The guy does a double take and stiffens up.
Are you two part of Xenox's crew?
Now take a. At first I didn't notice, but in certain scenarios where Luna becomes like serious and whatnot, you'll see her eyes, her reflection will like disappear and become like dead eyes, which is an interesting detail. Luna and I glance at each other. What makes you say that? Instead of answering, the merchant slaps a hand to his forehead.
Oh, so sorry. I'm an idiot. Of course you're in his crew. No one else would come around asking for ship parts like that.
He lets out a nervous laugh. Luna's eyes narrow, the air around her changing.
Why? Has anyone else come to you looking for parts?
Her voice is dangerous, but not harsh. Yeah, she's... Time to put our roleplay into action, right? And... yeah, we should play along. I give the merchant the most intimidating look I can muster. Because you'll know what would happen if they did. I crack my knuckles. Let me see if I can do so. Not sure if you can hear it. Ah, that feels good. The guy vigorously shakes his head. Yeah, I cracked my knuckles literally at this moment in all takes, including this one right here.
No, of course not. No one's come here for that. Besides, everyone knows even if someone did buy parts, they'd need permission to leave the hex shield, which I definitely can't give.
He laughs again, more nervously than before. His face is shining with sweat now. Luna gives him a smile that's just as dangerous as her voice.
Good. Remember that.
Yes, I will.
After a small pause, Luna tilts her head.
The parts?
He jumps and hurries off to get what we need before we can actually tell him what we need. Once we've given him the list, he puts the stuff he has in a box for us. It's not everything we wanted, but it'll do for now.
Free of charge, of course.
Okay, I'm gonna take a closer notice at her eyes and see if the reflection in it will disappear or not. I think it will. Yeah, in some situation. Yeah, in the previous few episodes, I almost never noticed and thought I was imagining things, but turns out that I'm not imagining it, because I initially thought it's because when she half closed her eyes that I think the reflective parts just go up the eyelids, but apparently they just fade out like that, which is a really cool detail. Not gonna lie. Yeah, in the previous game, in the older games, they don't even. In the first game, they don't even have animations, to be honest. But yeah, they added a little more details, subtle, but really, really cool. Yeah, previous, I don't think there's any characters that have certain details like that, but yeah, I think they wanna just well, it depends on which characters. It depends on the character, right? But I don't think any other characters will have her detail, but they can definitely add it. The animators can definitely do so if they want to. Luna's brow furrows. I can tell she doesn't want to take advantage of this guy. Yeah, the reflections are back now. Yeah, I really like that detail. I don't know why. She draws herself up, glaring at the merchant.
This money is from Xenoc. Are you going to deny his generosity?
The guy pales. All he manages is a squeak and one word.
No.
He clears his throat and finishes.
Thank you very much.
Xenoc appreciates your loyalty.
We pay and leave with our parts. Luna smiles at me as we step back out into the hot air.
You were great back there. Nice work, catching on so quickly like that.
Yeah, and I don't know why, but we use the same currency that they're using in this planet, and we somehow know the value of the total value of the parts we bought. I don't know. Imagine if we underpaid him. But if we are not gonna take advantage of him, we might as well take it for free, right? But I'm guessing we paid him in full, which I have no idea how they have the similar currency.
We make a good team.
Yep, couldn't agree more. I smell back. Thanks. This guy seemed really scared when he learned we work for Xenoc.
Yes, he did. It only confirms my suspicions of what Xenoc is really like, regardless of what his poster says.
Missing line. We both look back at the shop.
Anyway, we should text Iris that we found some of the parts.
Okay, I'll do it. I send her a quick message. She responds that she's still can't freaking speak. Sorry about that. She responds that she's still gathering the larger parts for our repairs. Decide to meet up where she is, as it's not far away. Luna and I head over. I'm sweating from the heat now, and it feels like I have sand in my mouth. I can't wait to get off this planet. I'm expecting to see Kai beside Iris when we arrive, but he's not there. Hey, where's Kai?
He left to do some recon work.
I wonder... Oh yeah, speaking of pairing up, if we have no affection with any of the girls, will we pair up with Kai and he'll tell us he just left? Then who will be the other two that will be pairing up? Well, I guess if we well, I guess the game would kinda force us into like certain scenes with certain characters, and yeah, you might pick some. They'll probably have a value to determine the default option where everyone is a tie. So yeah, I'm guessing the default option might just pair up with Luna. I'm just guessing, and you'll have a chance to increase our affection. I don't know. A merchant walks up to Iris and sets a crate by her feet.
That's all of it.
And somehow you sound like the guy in the previous shop.
Thank you.
He nods and walks back into his shop. Yeah, I'm guessing all NPCs are. Well, I kind of can't blame them for having the same guy voicing that, but yeah, it's not. Yeah, I'm just like nitpicking at this point. It takes two of us to lift. It takes two of us to lift the crate, so I get one side and Iris gets the other, while Luna texts Kai that we're ready to head off. A moment later, Luna looks up from her phone.
He says to go on without him. He'll find his own way back. He's deep undercover collecting some juicy information.
Well, I hope not collecting phone numbers.
Tell him to continue, and we'll hear what he has to say later.
Yeah, sarcastic remark for the win. I fake a gasp. He gets to go on a dangerous recon adventure while we're here collecting luggage? Carrying luggage? How dare he gets all the cool missions? Luna giggles.
I'm sure he's having a marvelous time crawling through tight air ducts as we speak.
I take that back. I don't want to follow him.
This is normal for him. Let's head back and get these parts to Vela.
Okay. Every crate in tow, we head back to the buggy and set off for the Eidos. The ship soon looms into view. We drive the buggy up the cargo strip and park it in the cargo bay where we unload the boxes. Vela pops up from the engineering bay, a wrench sticking out of her pocket, and hurries over. Beep Boop follows close behind and hovers nearby, careful to stay out of the way. With everyone's help, it only takes us a few minutes to unload everything. Regardless, a sheen of sweat forms on my brow. I grunt as I set down the last crate. Is that all of them?
I believe so.
I roll out my shoulders. These parts are heavier than I expected. Do you need help moving them into the engineering bay, Vela? These boxes are heavy.
Oh, it's okay. I actually don't want the crates taking up my workspace, and the parts aren't that heavy when moving them individually.
Okay, they kinda need to readjust the text here. I nod.
How are the repairs coming along, Vela?
So far, so good. Beep Boop and I have tackled most of the minor repairs, and with the parts secured, we should be on track with the rest.
Beep beep. The robot flashes a thumbs up on its screen. Sarcastic response, as always. I cross my arms and raise a skeptical brow. Are you sure it wasn't Beep Boop doing all of the repairs while you just manage its work?
No!
Yeah, I think the beep should have been put here, right? The beep is so quiet I barely hear it. Vela instantly rolls on the robot.
What was that?
The robot zips through the air, a red warning sign flashes on its screen as it takes refuge behind me. Slowly it picks out from behind my legs.
That's what I thought.
When Vela turns back around, I whisper to the robot. Don't worry, I know the truth. Beep Boop flutters in a nod. Luna smiles while Iris nods.
Excellent. Great work, you two. The sooner we can get off this planet, the better. There's something weird about this place.
Is that why Kai decided to do some snooping?
Yeah, the merchant was really nervous. It was almost like he didn't want to sell us the parts.
Luna and I share a glance. That sounds very familiar.
mention Xenoc by any chance?
Iris shakes her head.
He barely said a word to us. But I saw all of the Xenoc posters and paraphernalia plastered everywhere around town.
Mm-hmm. We did too. I think he's the leader of this place, since our merchant seems scared of offending one of Xenoc's crew.
Yeah, he mentioned that no one flies out of here without Xenoc's permission. He has some kind of hex shield around the planet, so even if we fix this ship, we can't leave until it's down. Vela puts her hands on her hips.
And I bet he's not the kind of person who'll just turn it off if you ask nicely.
Missing line. Nope. She sighs.
They never are.
So the question is, how are we going to find Xenoc and get him to turn off the hex shield?
I can answer that.
Huh? Insert the cat meme. Huh? Everyone glances at the entrance. Yeah. Kai casually leans against the wall with his arms folded across his chest. His lips are curled in a smirk.
Kai, don't sneak up on us like that.
How long were you standing there?
Long enough.
Luna grins.
I take it your little stroll around town was fruitful then?
Very. I've got a lot to share.
This sounds like it'll be a long conversation. Let's take it upstairs.
Iris leads the way upstairs as we march behind her, our footsteps clanging on the metal. We filter into the lounge and get comfortable on the couches.
Alright, Kai, the floor is yours. What did you find out?
Jeez, where do I begin?
This will have a funny line as well. Yeah, start from the beginning, from the top. Yeah, start from the top. Kai nods sagely.
Ah yes, it was a cold, blustery night on the eve which I was born.
No, not that far back.
He didn't mean the beginning of your life story.
Get to the point, Kai.
Iris's tone is sharp and impatient.
Alright.
He clears his throat.
It was hard to get people talking. They tend to keep to themselves and view strangers as trouble.
Iris nods.
I got that impression too.
But I did learn that Xenoc controls everything on this planet. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Nobody so much as sneezes without his knowledge. Most of the people here were captured and enslaved by Xenoc and his pirate crew, and remain trapped by his hex shield.
Missing text. So, yeah, we managed to escape a raider crew once, and now we're stuck here with another one. I'm pretty sure the pirates and raiders are basically the same thing here. So, we have to encounter one, right? It won't be... the moment they mention it at least once, we have to encounter them at least. Or like, we have to get caught in one, right? If we manage to escape them, we have to at least encounter them a second time. We basically have to get ourselves into deep trouble. So they came on the ship with Xenoc?
Some did, but it sounds like most of the townsfolk are locals who Xenoc now controls. I'm not sure what this planet was like before his arrival, but they weren't equipped to handle pirates and a hostile takeover.
No wonder they're so afraid.
That also explains the impoverished state of the town.
Yup, they don't want to do anything that'll attract Xenoc's attention. Anyone found being unloyal or unhelpful gets killed off without a second thought.
Vela's face contorts in horror.
That's horrible. How does he get away with this?
Yeah, I'm surprised the Union or Polaris haven't intervened.
I doubt anyone knows of this planet's existence, let alone what goes on here. We didn't even realize it was inhabited when we first passed by.
Plus, Xenoc himself is very well connected. He keeps the planet isolated on purpose, so he has free reign to do whatever he wants. The hex shield he uses blocks communication signals too, so no distress beacon can signal out. Any money earned in town goes straight to Xenoc's pockets, either through insanely high taxes or through the lavish, non-stop parties he hosts.
Wait, you mean a literal party?
That's right. The whole first level of his mansion is just one big party.
A mansion, while his people live in patchwork shacks.
The parties are open to anyone who can pay the entrance fee. Most of the attendants are Xenoc's friends, business partners, and associates, since the average town person can't afford to be there. But every so often, you'll find a townsperson so addicted they'll spend every credit in that place. And Xenoc is more than happy to take it.
This guy is making me so angry. How can he take advantage of these people like that?
Luna looks equally repulsed, like she can't get the bad taste out of her mouth. Iris frowns, the only indication of her disdain.
Even worse, while Xenoc hosts the parties, he doesn't attend them himself. He's not stupid, since there's a restricted elevator that gives direct access, but it needs activation.
Yeah, I keep... despite being the third take, I keep skipping this because the text... Normally when a text appears, everything appears all at once, but yeah. I click it too fast and then it appears once you finish the line, this entire part comes out.
He's not stupid. Since the parties are open to anyone, he keeps himself protected and stays in the penthouse of his mansion. There's a restricted elevator that gives direct access, but it needs activation.
So yeah, I'm guessing this is a bug in the line, I'm not sure. Unless they have to split this into another line in of itself, but I'm guessing this was this line itself was meant to be on another line, or yeah, they accidentally, when they merge it together, the text came out like super off. The text like didn't come out all at once.
There's also a staircase, but access from the first level is locked too.
I'm guessing Xenoc doesn't want any accidental guests reaching his penthouse.
Kai nods. So how do we get an audience with him then?
It'll be difficult, but not impossible. All of his affairs are run by his second-in-command, Morgana. However...
Missing line, I suppose. Kai grins.
Xenoc does have one weakness.
Money?
I don't think so. He shakes his head.
Sexy girls.
Yes, our ship has 3 of them, right? I grin. Well, we're lucky we have more than enough of those for him. Huh? We're lucky we have more than enough of those for him to choose from.
Hey!
Bela glares at me. She's about to retort when she pauses, then she blinks.
Wait, I feel like I should be offended, but that was also kind of a compliment.
Yeah, take it as one. It will be less awkward. Iris seems equally unsure how to react while Luna giggles.
Thank you, I think.
Yeah, she knows how to take a compliment. You're welcome.
Anyway, getting an audience with him is irrelevant. The Hex Shield controls are located in the server room, which is another wing of the mansion.
Why didn't you start with that?
Okay, I'm not sure, is it because of my own laptop, or yeah, because the animation kinda bugs out right there. Her mouth animations didn't move as much. Yeah, the frame rates are dropping for me. I don't know why. Yeah, my laptop's getting older. I probably need to upgrade some parts, if and all possible, if that's even possible. Depending on what I wanna upgrade. He shrugs.
This is good. It means we can avoid Xenoc and still disable the shield.
That's true, but now that we know how awful he is, we can't allow him to keep doing what he's doing, right?
We have to. We've got a damaged ship and no real weapons or protection of our own. We'll be lucky just to get out in one piece.
The people here don't have weapons or protection either, and they don't have the luxury of escaping.
Once our external communications are running again, we can send an alert to Polaris or the Union.
That's worth considering, but it'll still take time to cut through all that bureaucratic tape, and it won't help the people with their current struggles.
Okay, I'm not sure which word they're going for, but basically, this word isn't the one that with what she said. Is that? I think it's a mistake on her. Wait, does that word even exist? I'm gonna type what she just said. Unless I'm listening it wrong. Yeah, I feel like I don't think what she said is a real word. But yeah. Anyway, let's continue. Sorry about that.
Yeah, by the looks of things, these people can't survive like this much longer.
Neither will we. The longer we stay, the more at risk we are of being discovered. And then we'll be just as helpless as the rest of the town.
That's a valid point. If we're discovered, we can't help anyone. Ourselves or the people.
But we can't just do nothing. We have to at least try.
They have to adjust the text here. Kai looks at me.
Help me out here. You agree with me, right?
Alright, so let's see how far have we been. To be honest, I don't know if I want to end this episode short. Because since I keep crashing, I might as well just keep this episode short, right? Today will be a really short one. Yeah, it's not even... Well, it's near an hour, but not exactly an hour. But by the time I finish yapping, it will be past an hour. But yeah, in this case, let's push a bit more because yeah, between these options, these two will literally skip that entire subplot and you'll miss some CGs. So I'm gonna pick with this. I think all routes you'll have to pick this in order to get all of the CGs there. So yeah, these two is basically skipping the entire subplot altogether. I'm not sure if you'll get any different CGs if you do, but I'm gonna choose this because I wanna get the CG. Sorry Kai, but what's going on here is too serious to ignore. Now that we know the situation, we have to do something.
I can see that I'm outnumbered.
Iris looks thoughtful.
Our two objectives don't need to be mutually exclusive. We can subvert Xenoc and then escape. After all, the Hex Shield is still in the same mansion as Xenoc's penthouse.
That's very true.
Now the challenge is once again figuring out how to gain an audience with Xenoc.
Maybe we can work out a business deal with him. Sell him some goods?
What kind of goods? We don't have weapons or any other items he'd be interested in.
We have us.
Luna smiles. Wait, no, you're not that willing to do that, right?
Kai said that Xenoc is interested in attractive women. And we already know that he deals with slave traders.
I never thought you guys would agree with that.
If we pretend to be traders, that could be our in.
There's a pause while we let the suggestion sink in. Iris taps her finger to her chin in thought.
That could actually work.
She nods decisively.
Right. Luna and I will be the goods. Kai.
Yeah, I really never thought that they would just like, okay, we're just gonna have to pretend to be slaves. Yeah, I never expected that scene when it first like happened. I would thought at least one of them would at least like disagree. He quickly shakes his head, cutting her off.
As much as it kills me to turn down this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to boss you around, I can't act as your traitor. These people already know my face.
He turns to me and places a hand on my shoulder.
It's all up to you, my friend. Use this opportunity wisely.
Iris glances at me,
Are you up for the task?
and yeah, these three options are basically just pushing forward for the mission, whereas this is your final chance to skip this entire subplot. So yeah. So I'm not entirely sure whether you will get any different CG if you choose to decline, but if you do skip the subplot, you'll definitely miss out 3 CGs. One with each of the girl with the highest affection. I think, because I haven't got to the point of getting the CG, but yeah, but based on the CG I've seen, you can certainly miss out if you definitely back off. So I'm not sure if I want to continue, because I am worried that my drive couldn't handle that much space. Do I want to let's continue for a bit more before we start the mission, right? Yeah, let's lock in our answer first. Heeding Kai's advice, I take hold of this opportunity and get right into character. I cross my arms and glower, pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, and glower sternly at Iris. The goods should be seen and not heard. I like her reaction though. She stiffens, her eyes narrowing. What? I was just acting in character. That's what a traitor would say, right? She relaxes but still watches me closely.
Fair. Okay, that's settled then.
Wait, you forgot to mention my name. I'm sure you meant to say that I'm also one of the goods, right?
Yeah, and I wasn't expecting her to also like just eager to join in being part of the slave trader missions, but yeah, I know we're acting out, but we're pretending to be, but this kind of mission does contain its own risk, right? Iris hesitates.
Actually, I was thinking you could monitor all activity from the ship.
Vela furrows her brows.
Isn't that what Kai's doing?
Kai needs to ready the ship for extraction.
Yeah, I need all the help I can get. My skills are nowhere near our pilot here. I have to focus all my attention on the ship so we don't crash.
What? Kai, when have you ever needed help in your life?
Vela turns back to Iris.
I don't know why I'm being benched when I'm more valuable in the field for this mission. We know that Xenoc likes girls, but we don't know what kind of girls he likes. Shouldn't we be utilizing all of our tools in our toolbox?
Vela, this is unlike any of our previous missions. It's incredibly dangerous and unpredictable. Plus, we'll have to go in unarmed if we want to be convincing slaves.
Vela casually brushes off Iris's concerns.
I've been on dangerous missions before, and I've always been able to hold my own. This will be easier since we won't have to fight.
We might not have combat, but we'll still be put in uncomfortable positions.
Yes, different word, so...
Based on our roles, it's very likely we'll have to do some demeaning things.
So, I've had to do uncomfortable things before.
This is different.
I can handle it. Trust me, I know what I'm getting into. We have to use every available option we have to get Xenoc's attention, and bringing me will only increase our chances of success.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't expecting everyone or like all of the girls to like just hop on this idea. But yeah, it's for the sake of the mission, if you think of it this way. I glance at Iris. Although her face is hardened in thought, I can tell what she's thinking. She wants to protect Vela, but she also knows that we need to use every advantage we can. Eventually, she nods.
If you're sure you're ready for this, then you can come with us.
Vela nods confidently.
I'm positive.
Kai glances sharply at Iris. I noticed the split second of surprise on his face before he shakes it away. He clears his throat. Yeah, I guess everyone is surprised to agree with like everyone is agreeing to the mission. Like, I'm guessing Kai is more surprised that Iris agrees to let Vela join in on the field.
Alright, now that you all know your parts, your best chance of getting in is to say you're an associate of Chet. Xenoc is a big fan of his girls, and does a lot of business with him.
Chet, got it.
Remember, Morgana will be your point of contact. You have to impress her if you want to meet Xenoc.
I'm guessing the last name wasn't mentioned during the time of their recording. That's why they didn't say it, because they're not sure if they had a last name. This person had a last name at the time of recording. But yeah, it's pretty early on when they record the voice lines, I'm pretty sure.
How do you know all this?
Kai grins.
I make friends wherever I go. In this case, my friend was a guard named Leighton who had a very strong affection for wine.
And it sounds like the wine has an equally strong effect on him.
You're not wrong. Leighton told me that Chet hasn't been around in a while, which is disappointing because he brings the best girls.
Aww, sounds like Leighton misses his friend.
Not even close. Leighton doesn't care much for Chet himself because he's a serious guy who's strictly business. I guess he's pretty serious about his work.
Yeah, at first I thought when they say he... Well, let's play the next sentence first. Luna pauses.
There's something funny about a slave trader with a strong work ethic.
Yeah, at first I thought he, when Kai said he, I thought he was mentioning Leighton, but apparently when Luna said this, when Kai said he meant Chet. Yeah, basically the slave trader has a work ethic. She giggles and Kai chuckles.
Those traits don't sound like they'd go together, that's for sure.
He turns to me.
Have you got all that? You'll need to know this stuff if it comes up in conversation.
Yeah, we got it. We basically skipped an entire repeat of what he said.
Thank goodness, I really didn't want to have to repeat all that again.
But yeah, he doesn't have to be an ass about it. I chuckle.
Okay, that should be everything.
Iris nods.
Good work getting us all this info, Kai. Let's go through the plan one more time before we begin preparations.
We finalizes the details of the plan. First things first, we need to get the ship back into flying shape. Vela and Beep Boop work non-stop on repairs. Iris and I, who both have some working knowledge of ships, provide additional assistance. The rest of the team also chip in and help as much as they can in their limited capacity. Time goes by in a blur. With all our focus strictly on repairs, it takes several days before the ship is in decent enough shape to fly. It's amazing how efficient we are without any distractions from the outside world. Yeah, turns out it takes us several days before we proceed with the mission. I guess no one would find out like whether the ship is in like. I don't think no one would find out whether if their relay repeaters have taken down a ship or not, and then they just don't look for them or not or something. Once our ship is ready, it's time for us to put our plan into motion. We review the plan again, making any adjustments as needed, then we begin our preparations. I overhear the girls talk about a last-minute shopping trip before Kai pulls me aside.
All right, my dude, let's go.
Go where? He grins.
Back to your room, of course.
You want to follow me to my room? He nods. Do I want to continue? I'm really concerned about whether if my Streamlabs will crash or not. Do I want to proceed? You know what? Let's make this the shortest episode by far, because the shortest one before this episode was like an hour and 20 minutes or so. So let's make this one an hour and 10 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna make a save right here, just to avoid the unexpected crash if it does happen. So yeah, that will be our episode for today. So we'll continue the mission in the next episode. So we got sucked into this desert planet called Aksari. We tried to finish our ship repairs, but turns out we also find out that this place is actually habited by a pirate crew, and we have to subvert him or something. So we have to put this up. We have to do something to like help the people here or something. Basically, just put a stop to what Xenoc is doing. So yeah, we'll start a mission in the next episode. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Stay safe and have a great day. Bye bye. I really need to, have a proper script or something, so I wouldn't say redundant stuff over and over again, But anyway, thank you and have a great day. Bye bye.